boxing. And the tag of great bloke isn't thrown around liberally in that sport, but Daniel Geale certainly fits the bill. Tomorrow he can become a world champ too when he challenges Miguel Cotto for the WBC middleweight title. To preview the fight, it's a good morning to Paul Upham. G'day, Paul.
Morning, Patrick.
Well, Paul, the big question, I guess, going into this fight was whether Daniel could make weight. He has done that. How much is it going to cost him in terms of power for this fight?
And we have to remember this weight condition was put on him by Miguel Cotto. He actually came in way under the middleweight limit of 160 pounds at 157 because Cotto's not really a middleweight. He's a 4-division world champion. He's moved up. He weighed in at 154 pounds today. So Daniel Geale has got 30 hours now to rehydrate and get in condition. It's going to be tough for him though because Miguel Cotto, behind Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, is the biggest name in world boxing, and it's a great opportunity for Daniel Geale to get this fight in Brooklyn tomorrow. You
touched on the opportunity for Daniel Geale. What would it mean for his career if he were to jag a win here?
Look, this is probably the last big chance at the age of 34 because he had that disappointing knockout loss to Gennady Golovkin in New York last year at Madison Square Garden. Look, he's been a former world champion, but I saw that loss against Darren Barker, the Englishman, a couple of years ago. He lost his IBF middleweight world title. That wasn't Daniel Geale at his best. I still don't think Barker's a better fighter than him. And it would be great to see Daniel Geale give his absolute best with the world watching tomorrow against an A-class fighter. And there's no doubt Cotto is a worthy favourite in this fight. He's a 4-division world champion. This fight has become the lead-in to the National Day for the Puerto Rican people. They have their celebration the following week in New York. So it's a big Puerto Rican week, and Miguel Cotto is the focal point. And it's a huge opportunity for Geale, but he needs a big win, and he's going to have to beat his best.
Here is the fight by numbers. Daniel Geale being broken down. He's 34 years of age, 31 wins, 16 by knockout, 3 losses there, 157 pounds at weigh-in. Struggling to read it there in this old age. Miguel Cotto, in contrast, 34 years of age, 39 wins, 32 by knockout, 154 pounds. He's one heck of a fighter. What does Daniel have to do if he's going to try and take the fight?
He's got to get through those early rounds. Cotto's going to go to the body. He is an awesome body puncher, renowned body attack, and Geale's going to have to pick him off with those right hands and hurt Miguel because Miguel's going to get nice and low. Daniel's going to have a nice height and reach advantage. If he can get through those first couple of rounds and get that jab working and he's a good work rate, he could snag a points decision. It just depends on what condition he's in to go those 12 rounds after weighing at 157.
Given the fight's in Brooklyn, we know it's going to be a heavy crowd in terms of Puerto Rican support for Miguel. How comprehensive does Geale need to be if he's going to win this? He's
probably got to win 7 or 8 rounds convincingly to get the fight on points. It'd be great if he could win by stoppage. Look, if you haven't seen Miguel Cotto fight before, main event tonight's got back-to-back fights of his great battles with Margarito, the Mexican warrior, from 7:30, and that's free on main event tonight. So you can see for yourself what Daniel Geale's up against. He's an A-class fighter, great fighter. Same age, 34 years of age. Look, Daniel at his best is really in this fight, but the question is he at his best?
Cotto has also suggested that, Cotto's, I guess, trainer, I beg your pardon, Freddie Roach, has also suggested that they picked Daniel because they want to get rounds out of this fight. Does that say to you that perhaps the Cotto camp is taking Daniel just a little bit too lightly?
Look, Cotto hasn't fought for a year, and he's only fought every 12 months, so maybe he's a little bit rusty himself. Look, they know he's a true professional. That's why they picked him for this fight, because they knew that Daniel is such a professional, he would come in on the weight limit and wouldn't put the fight in jeopardy. The fight's actually promoted, funny enough, by Jay-Z, the rap mogul, it's his sports arm, Rock Nation, so he may be at ringside tomorrow night, so interesting to see if he's there. But look, he's a real professional. They know that Geale, he lost by knockout to Golovkin. I thought that was unusual. Daniel Geale, I don't think he handled that fight really well in Madison Square Garden. But look, at 34 years of age, he's been around. We've seen him in some big fights. He's a former world champion. And in boxing, amazing things do happen. And I think there's an opportunity for Daniel Geale to do something amazing against a worthy favourite.
It's going to be a hell of a fight. Main event is the place you can catch it. It's going to be a ripper in the United States, Brooklyn. Geale v Cotto tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time is where the coverage will start. Paul Upham, we're looking forward to it. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, Patrick.